What is going on, Movie Meals? Hope everyone's doing well out there. I'm going to be giving you guys a quick review of The Mitchells vs. the Machines, now available on Netflix. But before I get into that, we just want to thank our Patreon sponsors, Kimberly, Karen, and Steve. As always, thank you guys so much. And if you guys would like to become a Patreon supporter as well, there should be a link down below that links to our Patreon page. And we would really appreciate that and would love for you guys to be a part of our community that we're trying to build. And also be sure to check out our merch page as well. That link should be down below as well. So now The Mitchells vs. the Machines, I believe is based off of a children's book. It's from Sony Animation. It's a story about a family that goes on a road trip as they give their final send-offs to one of their kids, their daughter, who is getting ready to leave for college, and she's more than happy to, especially since she is getting a estranged relationship from her father, pretty much, just because they're just are very different people from each other. And so the father has this road trip plan so that way he can try to make amends and make sure to build the relationship before it gets even worse than it already is at. But at the same time, a giant monopoly tech company unveils a new piece of machinery, only for that piece of machinery to start taking over the world. So kind of very different things going into this movie. You have this big monopoly that's, obviously ripping off of like Amazon and Apple and things like that, and it's taking over the world, while at the same time you have this family comedy that also, is having those themes that we see in all these types of movies before, where it's talking about how family is very important. But somehow, despite these two things being very different from each other, they just mesh together so well. And I think the reason why they do mesh together so well is that this movie has an understanding of how insane it is. And it has this understanding of how insane it is all the way from the style of animation, which is really great animation. It feels similar to Into the Spider-Verse animation, but at the same time, it also is able to really get even more creative with it than what we've already seen before, which makes sense as animation is similar to Spider-Verse because it's all from Sony Animation. But the craziness is from the animation, but also just from the characters themselves. And the characters are both very unique. They're both very different characters, but they also still feel real and grounded because the family dynamics feel so real and grounded. And their grounded relationships is able to feel so real, but is also able to, make this family story that's included into this movie feel all the more reason why you want to be involved in it so much. You enjoy every one of these characters. You enjoy the relationships, their banters between each other, the things that they explain to each other about how they feel about one another. It's all very good stuff, but at the same time, it's also able to have a lot of heart and a lot of humor in it, and the humor is especially funny. I really don't know the last time that I've laughed at a movie. It's been too long, guys, but The Mitchells vs. the Machines, it will make you laugh so much, and it just comes back together with the vision that this movie clearly had, where it needs to be funny, it needs to be entertaining, it needs to be heartfelt, it needs to be all these things, even though they feel so different from each other. But at the end of the day, they all just are able to mesh together so well. And one final note that I want to touch on is that this movie is especially good at bringing out your inner artist or your inner creative, especially if you are someone who is an artist or who does, like to draw occasionally or paint or what have you, or be able to make movies such as one of the characters in this movie does. Then I feel like you'll really have a strong connection to it. I feel like that this movie is understanding of how, despite, movies are supposed to be art, they don't really, most of the time, appeal to the artists themselves. And though this movie is able to go out of its way to do so when it comes to the characters, and as well as when it comes to the movie itself and the animation itself. So I'll just leave you guys with that. I really do adore this movie, and I hope you all get to check this movie out. And please share around this review and comment below on what you guys think of this, and like, subscribe, and share to this channel. And as always, thank you for watching Alex's Mom, and we'll see you later, guys.